This is the Kim Gravel Show.
The thing you're probably getting criticized for the most is probably the thing that's your biggest gift. I'm a hot mess. I don't have any balance at all. Like, I'm either eating 12 Krispy Kremes or broccoli and carrots.
One of the most vulnerable moments I've ever seen from you, Kim.
Some of you have had so much life experience. What in the world are you being prepared for? It must be something really, really impactful.
What were you feeling in that moment?
Fear. But let me give you a piece of realistic, applicable advice.
All right, introduce us, Kim, because we were not planning to do a show right now. We're just
waiting on a guest. We're waiting on a guest.
We're waiting for a guest to show up.
And listen, things happen, so you have to pivot. Like I was out here, like looking at my book, and it says when things don't go your way or you fail, it's time to pivot. So we're pivoting.
Yep, here we go. We're pivoting.
And we were talking about the last episode, and we had a lot of engagement. And I said, well, let's comment on the comments.
Yeah.
So this is random. I've never seen these comments. Pull them up, because you were going to pull them up. And you showed me a couple of them.
Yeah. And then I said, oh my gosh, Kim, we have to record this. So we stopped.
So we stopped the recording. I love to hear from you. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, look, and there's a lot of people that don't like me and don't get me. And I'm cool with that. I love you anyway. I don't care. Because look, I'm very opinionated, and I've lived a lot of life to be opinionated. And some of my opinions are right. They might be wrong, but they're mine. So
you're right.
There we go. And you're entitled to yours too. And that's what I love. So let's pull them up. Let's comment on the comments.
Okay, let's comment on the comments.
So I want to hear what you have to say, because everybody knows what I have to say. Yes.
This is the audience talking back to me. And Kim, you better not interrupt me, because we have a comment about that already. I'm going to start with that one.
I don't surprise me.
This is my
look.
Kim,
you
this
know
is
what,
my
Zach?
favorite.
You are dying to start with that one.
This is my favorite comment we got on. So this is the last episode that just came out. And when we actually put this out, it won't be the last episode, but this is the one called that was your solo episode. Tell them what the episode was about before we get into it.
It was about change, making changes, right? And how change is inevitable, and how you it's how you handle the change. It's just like opportunity. You have opportunities, but a lot of us don't see them when they're in front of us. Change is happening. What are you doing with change? Change is going to happen.
Yes.
So do you deal with it in default? You just let life happen to you? Or do you, I mean, I give you I laid it out.
I love this episode. And I was saying, hey, it's got a lot of engagement, more engagement than we've been getting in the past.
Wow,
so
okay.
we were starting to read these as we were waiting. This is my favorite one. Someone on YouTube, so this is all from YouTube, wrote, "Give Zach a chance to speak. Please, you interrupt too often." And you know what?
Who said it?
Chef's
Who said
kiss.
it?
Thank you, Salyol7. Salyol7.
Salyol 7, you're absolutely right. 100%. Can't deny it.
You know what, though? Let me say this. As the producer of this show, it's called the Kim Gravel Show for a reation.
No,
it's
seriously.
not. It's not the Kim and Zach show. It's the Kim show.
I'm not going to interrupt.
Okay,
I'm letting you finish it. I'm letting you finish before I interrupt. Because I'll say this. The reason I interrupt y'all, and this is true, it's not that I want to talk more than Zach. I won't be able to remember what I was getting ready to say.
That is 100% true.
Am I right, Zach? I'm not defending my rudeness.
Without interrupting you, Kim, this is hard to not interrupt, by the way.
Yeah.
Whenever I interrupt Kim, and then this stuff always gets cut out, right? Because then Kim will say something, and then I'll say something, and maybe I'll go on a tear and I'll talk for a minute. And then we'll come back and be like, yeah, what were you saying, Kim? And you'll be like, I have no idea.
I don't remember nothing.
What are we even doing here anymore? That is so funny.
But I will say that's a fair comment. That's a fair comment. I will take that constructive criticism and try to apply it.
But like and in your defense,
there is no defense of me.
I shouldn't be talking that much. I just don't think I should.
That's not true, Zach. Go on to the next comment.
Let's say, someone wrote, "God's honest truth, 2 exclamation points. No plan works out how you planned."
No.
No,
but it doesn't. It really doesn't. But I always tell my kids this: make a plan and then be flexible. I mean, it's it's the truth. Like you can't be aimless. I said this on the episode. Go watch it. Go ahead. Go to the next comment.
Yeah, go watch it. All right. Wait, this next one, I'm just literally reading these in order. We did not plan to do this. I did not curate these.
I have no idea.
So at Nancy Brown 1975 wrote, and she was commenting on the beginning of the episode where you're talking about your kids stealing your AirPods all the time.
God, help me,
she
Lord.
wrote, get one extra of everything. You will need to, and then in all caps, hide it. You must hide it from them. You have to remember
passion.
they will do this again. So sorry they panicked you. That is hilarious.
Okay.
That's a mom.
First of all, we are sisters. I get you. I feel you. What's the name of this comment? Who's
the comment? Nancy Brown.
Nancy Brown. I have 4 or 5 deep, honey, not just one extra. Because keep in mind, I have Travis, Bo, and Blanton, and they each pilfer. They're each taking all the time. So one backup is not enough.
Yep. And you have to get better at hiding them, it turns out. I think that's the key.
Well, let me tell you, then, Nancy, I won't be able to remember where I hid them to begin with. Okay, this is a true story. So I bought a box of Krispy Kreme donuts. I feel like I'm in a confessional, but here we go. Okay, I bought a box of Krispy Kreme donuts. And I know, whatever, people say they've got like airplane jet fuel on them as a glaze. I don't care. I love them.
Yeah. Okay.
I bought a box of, it was 6. 3 glaze, 3 chocolate. I'm starving right now.
Okay. Yep.
I hid them. I ate a couple. And then I hid them.
Yep.
Why was like 2 nights ago, I think it was like Monday night, I was going through my house like I had just lost, my best friend, trying to find them. I cannot find them. I have no idea where I put them. I was like 20 minutes into these donuts trying to find them.
Isn't it funny when you get 20 minutes into something like that and then you're like, what am I even doing? Like I could have gone to the store, bought more donuts, gotten back, right?
But the fact that I couldn't find them made me want them more. It just goes to show you, I tell this to young girls all the time, people want what they can't have.
That's all you got to a very different place.
It's the truth. I told this little girl, I spoke at this little Glamour and Grace club at the school, and I go in and tell them, and I make them stand up and tell me 2 things about themselves. We should do that here. Right now, everybody listening, I always say this to the girls. I say, I want you to stand up, state your name, what grade you in, but for you at home, I'll say, how old are you? I want you to name one thing that's beautiful about you on the inside and one beautiful thing about you on the outside. And it's so funny because everybody can always answer the inside, but they have a hard time answering the outside. And so I get to really look at them and say, oh my gosh, it's your eyes, it's your face, it's your cheekbones. I get to really, be that mirror for them where they can look in the mirror and can't see what is so beautiful about them on the outside. I don't know why. What were we talking about?
Kim, name one thing that's beautiful about you on the inside and on the outside.
Okay. Oh, you're flipping the script on me.
I'm flipping the script
on you. I think one thing about myself that's beautiful on the inside is my edification, my encouragement, my ability to really see not just the best in people and not just the potential, the reality of who they were created to be.
Yeah.
And I think on the outside, although they may be bloodshot, my eyes.
Yeah, you do. Your eyes,
I love my eyes. I got my granddaddy's eyes.
Yeah, they are so blue. And especially
I used to want to change them.
Like you're wearing.
I used to want to change my eye color to be brown. And I used to want to be a brunette, like a really dark brunette and have because Brooke, I could go on and on. So many of the girls growing up, just that girl next door with the long brown hair and the brown eyes, say, hello, cheerleader. I was a short-haired, gangly, super, super awkward viola player in the orchestra. So there you go.
You played viola? I didn't know that.
I did. I was in the orchestra.
Were you good? Were you any good?
No, I didn't practice. The reason I played viola because it was different.
Did you ever play viola in a beauty pageant? Like as your talent?
No, honey. It'd be like, no.
Was it always singing? Were you always the singer?
Oh, yeah. Yes, honey. I used to sing all the time. I used to want to be Whitney. I'm just telling you, like it was like that last episode, that change episode. And just like when I tell my kids, I believe, Zach, would you say that I'm a nice person? Like, would you say Kim is so nice? Would that be an adjective you would lead with? The top 5? Let's say.
Top 5? That's putting me quite on the spot.
But I want you to tell the truth.
This is what I would say.
No. Yes or no? Tell the truth.
Are you a nice person?
Would you say, oh my gosh, Kim is so nice? Would you lead with that?
I don't know if I'd lead with that, but I would. If I had to either say yes or no to that, I would say yes. And
I'm not asking you that.
Okay.
I'm not asking you that.
Would I
I'm not
lead with
asking.
It? No, I wouldn't lead with it.
You wouldn't lead with it.
No.
What would you lead with?
I would say what I would lead with is that Kim's got my back. Like that to me, I think like, so for me, the thing that I know for sure is that I will never be in a situation like working with you, working for you, where like you stab me in the back. Right. I just know that is not who you are. You would never do that. Like that. I would never do that to
anybody.
No, I know you would never do. So that's just not how you operate. Like, you are not the like business person who you're like kind of keeping a side eye on or whatever.
Like that.
You know, yeah.
Like you're doing like,
because like you don't do people dirty, and that I think is like as like someone that works with you day in and day out and knows you really well, and that to me is like, so like knowing that about you is so important.
And well, I appreciate that, but and I also will shoot you straight down the barrel.
Yes. And you will tell it to me totally straight. And you will tell
straight
me,
down the barrel.
If something gets messed up or something. Yeah, totally. And that's good though. I love that.
Well,
that's why we work together.
But I will tell you something. That did not always serve me. My point to you listening is it's not about me. What I'm talking about is the things that make people. So people like say, oh, Kim, you're so nice and sweet. I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I am not. I can edify. I can see you. You're
empathetic. You're empathetic, just to interrupt you for a second.
I'm empathetic because I am a broke down, rick-rack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone human being.
How are you
broken? How am I not broken? I'm
really asking that.
I'm dead dog serious.
That is actually one of the most interesting things you've said in a while on the show.
God, I'm just a mess. I'm a hot mess.
You were telling me earlier you don't have any work-life balance.
I don't have any balance at all. Like I'm either eating 12 Krispy Kremes or I am like, broccoli and like carrots. I mean, I'm just, There's no balance in my life, which is not good. So you know what I look for? I look for people like you. I look for people like my husband. I look for people like Amy who I can never have what they have, but I can watch y'all. Like I'm a people person. So like I love to sit and like being around you, Zach, makes me like, oh my God, it's going to be great. Like,
well, you're a person of extremes. You will go the extreme.
I am.
For whatever is like in front of you, right?
But okay. Yeah, it's fair. And I want to talk because I want to apply this to your life who is listening to me right now. So what is that one thing? Like you're an overthinker. You're in your head.
Yep.
It is the best thing about you and can be, if not balanced, the worst thing about you. So the perfect person for you to be working with is me because I don't think.
Yeah. Because I don't think. Kim, you have like a massive business, multiple brands.
No, but I'm just saying but I move from intuitiveness. I move from that. So you move from, but do you see how we're all supposed to be working together? So there's somebody listening here thinking I'm not enough. I can't do this. And I get the thing you're probably getting criticized for the most is probably the thing that's your biggest gift.
Oh,
okay.
Wait. What? So, but that's not true of every possible thing. Wait, so give me an example of that.
Pretty much everything.
Give me an example of that.
Okay, give me an example. Pretty much, let me clarify. Let me drill it down a little bit more. The thing that you don't like about yourself. The thing that you, how do I say it? I want to make sure I say this right. Because I want to walk through it because we're going somewhere.
This is off the cuffs. Yeah, this is totally off the cuffs.
Okay. The thing the girl said, Kim, quit talking. You interrupt him too much. The thing that is so true. The thing that is my gift can also be that stumbling block. So the thing that you're overthinking. What'd you say your biggest struggle is for you, Zach?
Oh, my biggest struggle. Okay. My biggest struggle, I think it is balance right now. I think it's balance with the family. I think, especially now we're going through a really hard time with the family. We've had a death in the family recently. And I think
you resonated with that. You resonated with that.
Yeah. But I think that it's like, it's hard to be like, I really care about what I do. I want to do, really, I want to make the show great. I want to spend all the time it needs. I want to do all this, but I also have to be with my family now, and I have to do this, and it's hard, and it's hard to find the time, and it's,
But see, even you talking right now is telling me how much you're thinking about all of that.
Yeah, no, I know. I overthink it. Yeah. What you wanted me to say is I'm an overthinker, and I think you're right about that. I can overthink. You're right about that.
But to me, that is one of your biggest superpowers of all freaking time.
Yeah.
Like you come to the most poignant, what's that word? Poignant.
Poignant's good. Okay. Smart. I mean, I'll just start naming great.
And just in micro detailed decision where I just do a broad stroke. I'm like, hey, let's hope for the best. Okay.
Yeah.
Like so for me, I'm always looking for people just like you. I'm like, you are my producer. Like if I ever go on to do anything else, I'm like, Zach's coming with me. You know what I'm saying? Like you get me, I get you. I want to encourage everybody that's listening. There's something that is your superpower, that's your gifting, that's your innate, God-given, bloop, he just touched you on the head and that's what you can do, boo. And you've got to surround yourself with people who can fill in those gaps for you to get where you want to go. You cannot do this thing alone. Whatever the thing you want to do is, you can't do it alone.
I want to go back to what you were just saying a second ago, because I still don't really understand how your biggest, like the thing that you sort of like, what do you say, criticize yourself for the most is also your biggest strength. Like if you, for a long time, I felt like, and you're going to think this is so dumb, but like, I was I'm just lazy. Like I'm lazy. Like I'm not producing. This is before we met, right? Like I went through a period in my life where I just felt kind of like lazy.
That is
right?
so the opposite of you. That is the total opposite.
I know. I'm such a tryhard. I know. But like, is that, I don't know. You tell me what kind of a thing.
You're
Give
a
me an example
workaholic.
of something that someone.
Yeah, you just proved my point. You just proved my point. You said, I feel like I'm so lazy. That's the total, you're the total opposite of that.
Right. So
you
if
probably should be a little bit more lazy.
That,
that's why you don't have balance, boo-boo. Yeah, you just answered your own question. You don't. I need my check. I'm out. I need my counselor's fee.
I hate that so much.
You just answered your own question. You just gave yourself the answer. You're not lazy. You're the opposite of lazy.
You know what I'm going to do, Kim? I'm going to interrupt you. I'm going to say, we're going to a commercial. I can't even right now.
Okay, go to commercial. We'll come back with more comments.
We'll have more of these comments.
Yeah. Let me break down some of the reasons why I love Factor. First, the food is yummy. It's restaurant quality, y'all. They use premium products and they're never frozen ingredients like filet mignon, they shrimp and blackened salmon. And every week there are 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from. So even though it's keeping me healthy, it doesn't feel like I'm compromising. I don't get bored. Here's the game changer for me. It saves me so much time and I don't feel like I need to go through the drive-thru. If I have a Factor meal in the fridge, it's really quick and easy because the Factor meals are ready to eat, y'all, in literally 2 minutes with no prep and no cleanup. Head on over to factormeals.com/Kim50 and use code Kim50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code Kim50 at factormeals.com/Kim50 to get 50% off your first box, plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. They're good, they're fast, they're Factor. Y'all, have you heard about QVC's Age of Possibility yet? Well, QVC is on a mission to celebrate women 50 and over so that we feel seen and supported. And I'm so excited to be a part of that. QVC is so much more than a place to find great deals. And although they've got great deals, they have so many special shows and series just for you, like Over 50 and Fabulous with my dear friend, Mally Ronkel, a new Alive with Possibilities, which has a Menopause Mondays. And I've been on the show a couple of times. It's fantastic. And so much more. Y'all, really, like, There is a segment called Menopause Mondays. Anyway, I'm more of like a menopause every single day of the week, if you know what I mean, not just Mondays. Okay, I'm oversharing as usual, so let me get back to business. QVC's got specifically curated products and brands to serve your changing needs in this chapter of life, including some for me. You say, like, what are products over 50? What are products that we need over 50? My Flexibel jeans, thank you. They grow with you. You know what I mean? My Triple Luxe that's cool to the touch when you have those little personal summer moments. Anyway, you get the picture. Plus, there's a dedicated over 50 and fabulous Facebook page. It's a group that I have been posting in, and all of us connect with other inspiring 50 plus women. Seriously, y'all, I am so proud to support QVC's mission because really that's what I'm all about. It's inspiring you to love who you are and remind you that it's better when we're all going through it together. I mean, it's this over 50 and fabulous community that I absolutely love. And especially in the upcoming holiday season. So join the Facebook group, get involved, watch the shows. And hey, speaking of the holiday season, QVC is your destination for all things holiday fashion, gifts, decor, entertaining, and more. I've got a few holiday shows coming up myself. And QVC believes that aging does not define you. It does not. It's about the next chapter of your life, the next adventure, the next possibility. Y'all, this is the age of possibility. Discover more at QVC.com/Kim Show. That's QVC.com/Kim Show to learn all about the ways that you can be supported and celebrated this holiday season and beyond. That's QVC.com/Kim Show. And join me in our age of possibility. Can't wait to see you there. Love y'all. So, okay, we're back. And Zach would not say that I am nice. Remember, he said, no, I would not lead with that. I would not lead with you that being lazy. When I tell you Zach is the polar opposite of being lazy, but that's what I'm saying. Right. That superpower that we have, it trips us up. It trips us up because we think the things that come so easy to us. Do I overtalk? Heck yeah. But see, it used to be like, I used to be in my head going, I said too much. I shouldn't have said that. I was on live TV. I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I hurt their feelings. Maybe I was too straightforward. Maybe I was too communicating too much. Maybe I overshared. Yeah, I overshare. Yeah, I say things I shouldn't say. Yes, that was inappropriate. Heck yeah. But the things that I do share that connect and touch people far outweigh that. So people get stuck in not doing what they are supposed to be put on this earth to do, not walking in their superpower because they're hung up on things because they allow that fear of stumbling, of making mistakes, truly, that's the biggest fear is I'm not going to do it right. I'm not going to do it well, and I'm not going to be validated.
Right. And that's what this episode was kind of about, right? I mean, It was like the change, the things that are hard, like live in it, right? Let it happen, and then you'll
let it pass through you. And I will tell you, it never turns out like you think it's going to turn out. But it turns out if you allow it right what it needs to be. And then you're like, how many times have you looked back and you're like, oh my God. Yeah. You know, and you think, oh, how's this gonna work? Oh my gosh. All things work together for those who love him. You know, I'm going to quote that. And also, all things work together for the good. They do. I know it doesn't feel like that in this environment that we live in, but think about it. It all works out. Does tragedy happen? Does mistakes happen? Does trauma happen? Yeah, we live in a fallen world and we're flawed people. We're broken people. I'm so broken. I mean, the other day I was having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
You know that. I was talking to you about it.
Well, you were talking to me about it. And I think, but here's the thing. I want to go back to a second because I think there was one of the most important, moments that I saw, like one of the most vulnerable moments I've ever seen from you, Kim. And I'm just going to throw this out there. The day before and the day of your book release.
Oh my God.
When you were like, frankly, a mess. Like you were a total mess.
I was miserable.
You were so... I don't want to care.
Why do you think that was? Tell the people how crazy I was. I mean, I almost wanted to divorce Travis. Do you remember this?
You were so angry at Travis because he was the one who basically was the driving force behind this big book launch that we did that was on QVC Plus, and you can probably still go and stream it somewhere. You were so mad at him. I remember, I was in Atlanta. I flew in to produce the show, and I remember your sister calling me, and it was like, I was eating breakfast or something that morning that we were going to do the show.
I'm talking about it. Go ahead.
And you were like, and she was like, I don't know if Kim's going to come. Like, I don't know if Kim's going to come. I don't know what we're going to do. And I was like, okay, what could I do? Like, we were like strategizing, like, how can we get Kim to actually show up? And to your credit, like, you showed up when you needed to, and you delivered, and it was great. Right.
But again, do you remember?
But it was a struggle. And I want to talk why for you, why, what were you feeling in that moment?
Fear. And about 100% of you listening to this, that's what you move into. Because fear grips you in a way no one can see and experience but you, about you. Fear is a constant frenemy. Because it can serve you, but it also can paralyze you. And I was afraid, again, I'm going to go back to your biggest struggle, your biggest critique, your biggest flaw is 9 times out of 10 your biggest gift. And mine is communication. That's a big gift for me. And I know that, and I'm good with that. But when it's about you telling the world your story and your thing, and I was scared to death I would not be received well.
And it seemed to me like you were worried no one was going to show up. Like you were going to be, right? I mean, not a real worry, but was that a worry? That seemed,
I think it was a worry. No, you didn't. It's like 3 or 4 down. That was an excuse. That was
right.
That was something to say to get, I really just is like, I talk all the time and I'm out on live TV all the time. And I do it with a host, or I do it with Zach, or I do it. This is just me on display. And am I good enough? And no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm really not. You will never be good enough in your own eyes. Go ahead and accept that. That's what I'm saying. This gift that you possess is hard on you. It's a burden.
Yeah.
Success is a burden. Mm-hmm. Fame, burden, money, burden. It's a heavy load to carry, but the gift that you have, we need. So you got to carry that burden. You got to pick up that cross and walk with it, honey, because that's what we need. But see, that is why most people, I would say, I mean, there's so many people struggling, Zach. They're struggling with disease. They're struggling with emotional, mental health, relational, kids, aging parents, fill in the blank. But if you will listen to a little piece of this and kind of just catch a bit of this perspective here, maybe, just maybe that fear and that struggle and all of that that's coming at you right now, if we look at it through a different lens, have you ever thought maybe it's there to either point you in the right direction or strengthen you for what's coming? Mm-hmm. And I know that sounds cheeseball, and a lot of people are like, well, Kim, you don't know. I don't know. I don't know much of nothing, but I just know pain is pain, struggle is struggle.
Yeah.
But it can serve you if you'll let it, And as I've gotten older, I can handle that. Now, I will tell you, that was just a couple of years ago. So it was, I'm a mess. People don't understand I'm a mess. I have high expectations. I have high expectations of myself and other people. And I think that's great. And I think it's also horrible.
Well, yeah,
but we got to live somewhere in the middle of that. You've got to have the right perspective when it comes to that. I don't have a problem people, and including myself, having episodes or moments of just complete self-doubt. We just can't stay there.
How has that perspective changed over, as you've gotten older? Because I know, I'm really thinking about this message that, it's just, you're better as you age, right? And it's like you were successful later in life, really successful later in life. And, you've always said to me, like, it happens when it happens. Like you need to be ready. And, I'm mixing up a lot of ideas here in one, but I think, I'd love to know, how has your perspective changed? How has your perspective changed as you've gotten older, and what is that unlocked for you?
Well, success is not 1 + 1 = 2. It's not a formula. Okay. So when I'm saying prepare for what's coming, the preparation is not, I'm going to school, I'm getting a degree, I'm doing this formula. That's not success. That's a little bit of preparation, but real preparation is experience. And experience is not education. Education is knowing things. Experience is living them.
Yeah.
And for some of you have had so much life experience. What in the world are you being prepared for? It must be something really, really impactful.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me give you an example. I've got a young friend. She's an amazing, gifted esthetician. She gives me my facials right here in Auburn, Georgia, honey. She is Time Rewind Day Spa. She's fantastic. And she is a powerhouse of a personality and gifting. And she is like a cat in a knapsack.
Okay. Clawing her way out. Okay.
Oh yeah. Just fighting, trying to get out, trying to get more, trying to be more, trying to accomplish, trying to be, all of that.
Yeah.
And I said to her one day, I said, honey, this is your preparation. I said, do you know how long I was preparing to launch my brands at 46? I've been doing it since it's been 19. Now, Zach, I'm not a mathematician. You're the smart one. Tell me how many years that is. 19, 20, 21, 22.
That's 27 years.
27 years. And she looked at me like, are you kidding me right now? I'm like, honey, you got to shift the way you're thinking. This is the preparation for what is coming. So just calm down, kitty cat, in that knapsack. Just calm on down and lay there. Let the sack open. And when it's time, you'll just crawl right on out of that thing and walk right. All of that is how you look at it. So you say, how has your perspective changed over the years? Is that when the ports close, and I don't know if my product is getting here in time for the holiday season.
You were saying that. You've got all sorts of stuff that's on a boat.
It's on a boat in the middle of the ocean and ain't nobody going to unpack it. Okay? Yeah. How am I going to change that? So I called my team. I said, what else we got? We're going to plug in beauty to these shows. We got some beauty in the warehouse. Let's go. My perspective has changed. It's no longer a crisis. It's just a shift of what we're looking at and how we're looking at it. And as I've gotten older, I have, not perfect, I had to do that with my book launch. It's how I'm looking at things. And now it comes a little bit more easier to shift the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Because with our show, I see, Zach. Remember when I said, hang on, something's coming.
Yeah.
And you say, Kim, how do you know? Well, I'm intuitive, but also I look at what's going on around me. Stop and look at what's going around in your world. Is your computer dying every day? Is something happening to your kids where they're making mistakes every day? Is something happening to you? You get in a wreck, you hit a mailbox, and it's happening on a... That is your perspective. That you got to look at what's happening and why it's happening and change the way you're looking at it. I'm telling you, we should have a true manifestation podcast. We really should.
We should, because manifestation is one of those things that I still sort of really struggle with, and that I think you're very good at.
It's perspective. It all starts with what you're looking at and how you're looking at it. Okay. Yeah. It starts with perspective. You can't have the manifestation talk if you don't know how to change the way you're looking at something.
Yeah.
Because perspective too is not just changing the way you're thinking about it. It's also changing what you're looking at. Because you can look at a big old car. You can look at, say Mercedes-Benz. You're going to buy a Mercedes-Benz. Okay. You can look at it like, oh my gosh, this is like a Mercedes-Benz. look at the color, look at this, look at all the details, look at this. And there could be one little thing wrong with the mirror.
Yeah.
And like my husband would look at the mirror and go, I'm not buying that. Look at that mirror. And I'd be like, oh, we can fix that mirror. That's nothing. Let's ask him for $1,000 off and move on. I mean, it's all in how you look at it. And it's all in what you're looking at. I'm not looking at the mirror. I'm looking at the opportunity to get it for less.
Right. The mirror is an opportunity to make a really good deal and then get what you want ultimately.
That's a perspective.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, good point.
If the port
There's never what I
situation
want.
stays,
It's never perfect. It's yeah.
If the port situation continues, this is not a problem. It's an opportunity for other people in business to insert their product that never got a shot before. Yeah. Look at it like that.
Yeah.
And that's not being positive. That's not being positive. Okay. That's not like poly-positive. That's...
Wait, let's go back to some of these comments because there's a good one here that I think will, think like you're leading, you're going to have a good response to this, I think. So someone wrote, and this is a very long username, so I'm not going to try to just go on YouTube and look at the comments. You can read it for yourself. Kim, your words are powerful. Change is great. I have a fear of speaking in front of people when I'm at church or in meetings at work. Don't let a person ask me a question. I will forget what I know. I need to change that. God needs to change that fear for me.
Well, he will. He'll change the fear for you, but let me give you a piece of realistic, applicable advice.
Yeah.
Truly, death and public speaking is the number one fear of the whole entire universe. Death is number 2. So people rather die than public speak. So you're not alone there. But clearly you have something to say, because if you're getting called on and if you're feeling the urge to speak, you probably have something really good to say, and that fear is silencing you from making that impact. When you are scared, so say somebody calls on you and you are scared to speak, the first things out of your mouth say, hello, everyone, I'm scared to death to be up here right now. When you state or speak out the thing that you're fearful of, it immediately connects with other people immediately. When communication is all about connection. Ain't nobody give 2 rips about what most people say anyway. It's, do I connect with what you're saying?
Right. Do I feel that for myself?
That's it. And when people understand and connect with you as a human being, because that's all we all crave. Remember the oxytocin? Remember that? Remember when we had the doctor on? People didn't even see that part of the interview. Remember that?
Yeah.
They didn't see about.
Yeah, and you really latched onto that. That's such a powerful idea.
It's huge. It's everything. That's all we want to do.
Talk about that, Kim. What was it that you latched onto? Remind the viewers, for the folks and the listeners, for the folks who haven't.
Well, we had a longevity doctor on who was talking about aging well, and I said, what is the number one thing to increase our longevity? I think it was our last rapid fire or something. And I said, what was the number one thing to increase our longevity? And she said, well, movement. She goes, but the number one thing is connection.
Yeah.
And she went on to scientifically explain why, because it releases oxytocin. Oxytocin is that, okay. So that comment that you just made on our YouTube channel about getting up to speak, the thing to get past that fear is to say the thing that's going to connect when you speak. So my advice to you is, if you are scared to death, when you get up and say, look, I'm scared to death to get up and speak, but what I have to say has to be said. When you say those things to a group of people, you are going to instantly have 100, 200, how many people, 50, how many people you're speaking to, you're going to have their connection, because everybody can relate to that.
Totally.
That's a practical way. And then every time you do it, it will get less and less and less, because it sounds like, Sister Sledge, we need to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. Okay. So someone else, Annalena wrote, there's so many good words of wisdom. I've been feeling so stuck, and your podcast made me embrace the change in my life. You do everything so well, Kim. Heart. Now I see it's all mentality. This is why I read this one, Kim. And I loved your input, Zach.
You have brilliant input.
Can I just say, before
Yes.
you respond to this, I just want to say, at this point, we have enough people that listen to the show and watch the show. There must be at least a handful of people that watch it for me. And I just that's really tweaking my ego. So thank you.
But do you know why I had you do it?
Why? I actually don't know.
Do you not know? Really? You have no idea?
I really don't. I really don't. I have no idea why because Kim, going back to the beginning of the show and pulling back the curtain, when we talked initially about doing the podcast, I wasn't like, let's do a podcast together and I want to be on it with you, but you sort of insisted that I be on it with you. And we've never really talked about why.
For that very reason that we got that comment, hon. There are people out there that connect with you. That's my whole point to everybody. Oh, Lord. We are not an island to ourselves. That's why I have Amy on QVC with me. That's why I have my sister. But people, we need each other. And there are people, Zach, that will watch the podcast that be like, Kim gets on my last nerve, but that's Zach. And my goal is not to be.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, sure. Come on, think about it. But my point of doing the podcast is not to be like, I have spoken and it's about perspective and connection. I don't, y'all, half the time I don't know my butt from hole in the ground. I want you to feel like there's people in your corner. And whether it's me or Zach or Amy or whoever, because, you've got something ahead of you. You've got something to do. You've got something to say. You've got a purpose. And for the love of God and all that is holy, get busy about it. Time is running out, people.
Yeah.
We're here for a blip.
Listen to this one.
That's preaching. See, that's the preaching, Kim.
Preach, Kim. This person wrote, this is Lynette Fix 5311 wrote, I have a disability. I give it to God. It's his plan for my life. I've met so many wonderful people because of this disability. I now get to stay home and sew on my sewing machine and make gorgeous bags and quilts. Thank you, Kim and Zach. Love you.
Well, first of all, I want to see them bags and quilts because I love a good textile. So you better hit us up with one of those bags and quilts and we'll. That's got to be hard.
But that's, to me, like, isn't that's so powerful? It's like, look, it's exactly what you said. You're embracing it. You're embracing what you've been given and you're making it something that is really powerful for yourself.
Yeah. And I bet if she was on the podcast, she would say, and it's not every day, all day that I feel that way.
Right.
But it is a choice. It is a choice. I had somebody come up to me not too long ago and said they lost over, I think, 80 pounds because they said they heard our podcast about just making a decision to decide to lose weight. Yeah. And I mean, I've been criticized for that too. People are like, I'm like, well, how many diets you been on, boo-boo kitty? Right. Well, 5 or 6. I'm like, well, okay, well, clearly there's not a magic diet because that didn't work for you. But it's a mentality. She's right. That comment, it's a mentality. It's deciding to, it's deciding to go with it in knowing in your soul that all things work together for the good. And they do. They really do. Because when you're chaotic and you're scratching and you're clawing and you're fussing and you're cussing and you're complaining and I'm speaking to myself here and you're doing all that, you miss it. You miss things that are happening.
But don't you miss things. But let's go back to the beginning for a second or toward the beginning. You're kind of like, you describe yourself as being chaotic. Like you seek out the calm people because you're all over the place, right? Correct. Like you're kind of a chaos, like you live in chaos to some extent. Is that? Yeah.
But in full disclosure and to my defense, I have 2 teenage boys and a husband. So some of that is not on my own doing.
Right. But this is like,
but
you
I take
could
on a
slow
lot.
Down. You could make it easier on yourself.
Down. Never slow down.
You could say, you could be someone that said,
don't you slow down.
I have the successful line on QVC. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to, you know what I mean? But
don't you
you're
slow
building,
down.
You're expanding. You're making new episodes. Like,
Don't you slow down. Why would you slow down? All of you listening, you're too slow as it is. Pick it up. Come on.
But Okay, but that doesn't that go against what you were saying? It's like the time when you're on God's time, and it depends on when things will
you're
be ready.
on God's time. When the time comes for Him to elevate and promote, He'll do it. But in the meantime, He put you here to work. Don't slow down. Say yes. Say yes to speaking at church, honey. Say yes to making your quilts and your bags. Say yes to volunteering at your son's school. Say yes to doing a podcast. Say yes to writing a book. I don't have time. Figure it out. Say yes. You're saying no too much.
Yeah.
You're saying no. Don't focus on what you can't do, what you don't have, or what you wish you had. Focus on what you can do. Say yes to the things that come to you. And you said, well, Kim, I can't say yes to everything. Well, things will fall out.
Yeah.
We don't have a society of people overachieving right now. Especially a younger generation. I'm just saying to you, what else you going? I say this to Amy. She called me the other day. She called me Sunday. She goes, I'm losing. I mean, she was like, I don't have a life.
Okay.
I said, well, what else you gonna do? You're running these companies. You're killing it in life. You've got a dog. You've got a house. You've got a car.
How is Amy? No, that's the thing, right? You were saying like everything can be a burden if you look at it that way, right?
Yeah, we get to go and eat Mexican with cheese dip and jalapenos. What more do you want? And she said, well, I don't have to do this. I said, well, go hire you somebody to help you.
Right.
Go get help. Fix it. But don't stop. You don't stop when you're killing it. You don't go, you know what? I've had enough. I just can't. I'm like, no. This won't last forever. You won't be in the health you are right now forever. You won't have that vitality that drive that you have right now forever. You won't have the free time that you have right now forever. You won't have those kids at home that you have right now forever. So what you've got now, do it. Say yes to it.
And I saw such a great quote online or on TikTok or some dumb place, but
I love it.
It was something along the lines of, how much money would you give to, go back in time 10 years, 20 years? Like, we're all trying so hard to like make money and get rich and, be successful and all of that. But it's really like, if you had to trade 20 years of your life for whatever it is, $1 million, would you really do it if it was the other direction? Wouldn't you give $1 million to go back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing what you know now. Sure.
Especially knowing what you know now. Well, and that goes back, like, let's go full circle for a second. So Kim, I won't say it. I'll let you say it. What is coming next for you? Give us a hint.
Well, I mean, Amy and I were just, like I said, having this conversation the other day because we have our apparel line, we have our beauty line. And I've just recently, I dipped my toe in the holiday, Christmas decor.
Yeah.
And then I was so blessed to have such a great positive response from it.
People seem to love it based on the emails I saw. Yeah.
They're great. It's really, I'm really proud of it. And holiday is so, like, it's October. I'm already putting up my trees. Okay, people. I mean, the struggle is like and I put up 11, not 10, not 9, 11. Okay. So I decorate everywhere from the bathrooms to the hallways to my kids' rooms. And they're just like, oh Lord. But anyway, so they asked us to go, I'm going to do a full on like textiles and home decor. And I thought my team was going to just be like, I mean, they started ticking. I mean, they had little ticks. And I was like, they said, how are we going to do this? I said, I don't know, but we're doing it. And that's where Amy was on the overload the other day on the call. And the thing is that I'm not passing the opportunity up because I see the obstacles ahead. I'm going to see it as an opportunity and get help. Because just because you are at a place where, and you need to change that, Zach, because I'm not 54, I'm 53, get it right. He just typed, he said, is it just because you're 54? No, it's not because I'm 54.
I wrote in the script, I have a script I write to Kim, and I wrote in the script just because I'm 54, and now I'm fired. So I'll see you later. Episode over. I just aged Kim by a year.
Anyway,
but that's okay.
Who cares?
Isn't the message that it doesn't matter, Kim?
We're going to take every year we can, okay? We're just going to keep it close to the vest. No, but I say all that to say, of course I'm kidding. I don't want to miss any opportunity. And what a blessing it is to be able to do it. And if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's going to go. But I'm just saying, like, we just can't say no to it. And it's scary and it's fearful and it's exhausting. But again, what else you going to do?
Yeah.
So there's something in you. You're listening to me right now, and there's something in you they've been putting off, or you've wanted to do your whole life, or you've just had an inkling about, or whatever it is. Say yes to it and do it. But there's always, and I'm going to tell you something, the more you say yes to, the more opportunities come. I always say this. I say this to my son in sports, his basketball. I say it to playing in tennis. You know, God's not looking for the best. You're not looking for the most talented. Because if that's the case, I'm screwed. What he's always looking for is the willing vessel. Mm-hmm. Are you willing to say, you know what? I'll do it. Remember we had our CIA agent and she said, hands up, I'll do it.
Hands up. Yeah.
That's all he's looking for. He's looking for you to put your hand up and go, oh, yeah, send me, I'll do it. He don't need the best. All he needs is your little 5 loaves and your little 2 fish. He don't need the whole meal. And he'll take that 5 loaves and 2 fish and he'll make it a buffet and all you can eat too.
Yeah.
You don't have to be fully prepared. You are prepared. You have the experience. You have that lived experience. You don't need the education. You don't need the degree. You need, unless you're a doctor or something like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, but like to do what you want to do, you have the experience and it's never too late. You're right on time.
Kim's advocating for unlicensed medical practice.
No, never. Although I have Googled a time or two. My dad is really bad about that right now with Googling and self-diagnosing. I'm like, Dad, it's indigestion. Okay, you've got heartburn. My toe's rotting off, Kim. I've got gangrene. I'm like, no, you don't.
No, you got heartburn.
That is black dirt from when you were out in the yard working. Okay.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
It's true. Like you need to wash your feet.
Let's wrap this up, Kim. Take it home, baby. Take it home.
Listen, y'all. This was. I love your comments. Please comment. Nothing is ever off limits with us. Because look, I love what you say. I appreciate your constructive criticism. I appreciate your compliments. I appreciate your connection. My sole purpose for any show that we ever do is to point you to a place of purpose. Is to never let you forget, it ain't about me. It's not about Zach. It's not about this show. It's about what are you going to say yes to now? Okay? Take this little bit of time for yourself and be a little bit selfish. It's okay. Trust me, I bet you everybody listening gives way more than they ever get back in return. So make this moment a moment for you to think about, what do I really want? What do I want to be when I grow up? What is my place of purpose? Because I'm here to tell you, as a flawed, broken person who is so blessed to be able to talk to you and you even listen to anything Zach and I have to say. Clearly, he doesn't get to say enough because I interrupt him. But anyway, I say this to say, we love you and we appreciate you. And if we can help you find your place of purpose, let us know in the comments. Email us or call us. Reach out to us because we want to hear from you. Right, Zach?
Yeah. And go to our website, kimgravelshow.com. If you're not on a platform that allows comments, a lot of you aren't. You're on QVC, you're on audio platforms. Send us a message and leave us a voicemail. We'd love to hear from you.
I was just on Jenny Gar's podcast yesterday and I talked her hair off. I talked her, to death. And she's an introvert. I said, Jenny, you gonna talk? You got to say something. I'll talk your ear off. And can I give him a sneak peek of something, Zach?
Yeah, of course.
We've got candy coming out soon, so you need to stay tuned. Full on food.
Hey-o. Okay, it's coming soon. We're working on it quick.
I'm making Zach eat candy.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be good too. If you like this episode, here's another one I think you're gonna love. Zach, how long am I gonna have to point at this? Is this enough?